to make this video for so long. Haha. Oh my god, the platform that keeps on giving. Probably the worst video streaming platform. And we're going to go through all the reasons as to why. I don't know if I can find something more worse than Twitch. Don't get me wrong, though. There are places on the internet worse than Twitch. I mean, you got Reddit. You used to have NeoGAF, and I believe now it's called Reset Era. There are worse places, but when it comes to a video platform, I do consider Twitch to be the worst. And there's other video platforms out there. There's Chatroulette. There's Chatterbait. It's not that there's a lack of competition. There used to be even the Nazi platforms, like all these streaming platforms that appeared and then they went off, and all the far fringe right extremists that the media likes to warn you about. They used to go there, right? Even those platforms are not as bad as Twitch, and I think it's mostly because it's not they weren't trying to manipulate people, they weren't trying to brainwash people, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Reddit is not that it's cringe. Yeah, like DLive, right? Like even DLive, which I don't know if it was a scam or not. I have no idea why that platform went under, but I do know like the type of people that stream there, and the media was very concerned. They were concerned about DLive. That wasn't as bad as Twitch. I don't think that there is any platform that has video hosting websites that is as bad as Twitch. And when it comes to like all of the platforms, I think Reddit is the worst, and Twitch is probably a close second. Reddit does not have conservative subreddits, I don't think. No, like they got rid of them. I think Reddit is the same when it comes to its level of political bias, like Twitch is. Thank you, Thomas, for the €5. I really appreciate it. I don't know anything about Rumble, though, right? So, but even if Rumble was bad, it's not as bad as Twitch. Like, I will make all the arguments, and I hope chat will help me in order to explore every single reason why Twitch is shit. And just so you know, in case in the future it can happen, I may be banned from YouTube for whatever reason. I don't know. It can happen. I would probably stream on Twitch, but I probably won't stream there for long because they will ban me there as well. But it's not that I'm saying people shouldn't stream on Twitch or that I'm making an argument against it. I'm saying it's an evil platform. And it's kind of like, working at an evil corporation. Like, sure, Coca-Cola might be flooding, might be poisoning some rivers in Africa, but you still work there because it's a job. I have come to my buyer's remorse. Well, it's nothing. I'm going to give you exactly $5 of buyer's remorse. Trump is banned from Twitch. How can people talk about him? I was talking to Pippa about this, and apparently she brought it up, and I was like, holy shit. I don't know. Like, I've never thought about it. So, yeah, like, Trump is banned from Twitch, and you're not allowed to talk about people who are banned from Twitch. And normally they're very proactive with enforcing this. Like, there was an Asian Grand Chess Master who showed a game that Dr. Disrespect played, right? And he analyzed the chess game of Dr. Disrespect, and he got banned. He got banned for showing Dr. So it's not like political or anything like that. But then you have Donald Trump, right? And Donald Trump is banned from Twitch. I don't even know if he ever had an account. I don't know if he ever planned on having an account. There were politicians that did. So you did have AOC. I think she's still streaming on Twitch. Bernie Sanders streamed on Twitch. I don't know about Elizabeth Warren. Thank you, JDA79, for becoming a member. I think Elizabeth Warren may have also streamed on Twitch. So there are politicians. Of course, all of them left. Like, not a single right-wing politician. But Donald Trump is probably the only right-wing politician that actually got banned. I think the most right-wing Twitch streamer there is the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army has a couple of soldiers which promote the military, and they stream Call of Duty, among other games, right? So you have like the U.S. Army having a couple of soldiers that every single week they stream professionally, they play Call of Duty in order to attract people to join the military. And they're probably like the most right-wing account on that platform. I know Sticks Hexenhammer tried going on Twitch, and Sticks Hexenhammer is very milquetoast. He got banned. What happened with the U.S. military was that people in the chat, they started talking about American war crimes, right? So like they would be like, oh, what about this and what about that? Like, what about America? So the U.S. Army started moderating his chat. They started banning those people, and apparently those people filed a complaint because their first speech was violated by a government account, and they won. Now my question is, like, and this is just very interesting, right? Like, Twitch requires you to moderate your chat. Like, if someone says something hateful, you can get banned for it. So if you don't do that, you get banned from the platform. So my question is, like, what is the U.S. Army doing about it? Like, they're not allowed to moderate their chat because that's a violation of the First Amendment because they're a government account, right? So it's technically like the government is banning you. So that's what they don't like. But like, if someone drops the N-word and then the military removes that, isn't that also like a violation of the First Amendment? And if they don't remove it, won't Twitch then ban them? Like, they're in a no-win situation. Anyway, the bugs, they're fun but expensive, like 50 times the price of pork. Yeah, well, the thing with the bugs is that it's supply and demand. Like, right now, there's not a lot of bugs, but assuming, like, look, if people would really enjoy eating the bugs, like, if people, give me a sec. There we go. If people, genuinely enjoyed consuming the insects, then what would happen is that there would be more people producing the bugs, there would be more people producing the insects, and then there would be more bug product, and it would cost less. It's kind of like with seafood. Like, seafood in my country, when it first came out, it was a novelty. Like, most people didn't see it. And it was insanely expensive. I mean, the price of any, you know, like, just Asian-type cuisine was just... I think it was... Well, not like $1,000, but it was only that the rich could afford, right? And as more and more people start buying it, as more and more people start consuming it, then it becomes cheaper. It's the same like a color TV, right? Like a color TV back in the day, only rich families and rich households used to have one. Same with computers. Nowadays, everyone has a color TV. Everyone has a computer. And by the way, Bronx Beats, stop spamming. This is why I'm... This is why I have to remove it. Like, I tolerate a lot of shit on my channel. I just don't like spamming. Anyway, right. Spamming, name impersonation. You know, like, I'm from the old internet. Like, in the old internet, I didn't believe in moderation. But there were still some things you could get banned for. And one of those things were spamming. Like, no one likes a spammer. Just stop doing it. Control yourself, madame. No, I did ban him, but I think he came on a different account. Any mods, if you see him spamming, please... Alright, so, Bear Grylls eats the bugs. Yeah. I mean, the argument about eating the bugs, and this is the only patent thesis I will have, and then we'll go to Twitch, because I don't like talking about one subject and another. The argument with eating the bugs is so interesting. They say, well, other people do it, right? Like, they will say million of other people eat the bugs. Okay, fine. There are people who do cannibalism. Like, are we going to use that excuse as well? Right? Like, there are people out there who are doing cannibalism, so therefore everyone needs to do it? And I don't mention, like, there are people who do cannibalism in times of great famines. Yes, Bronx, I see you. Now we're talking about Twitch. Alright, so. Let's look at the reason why Twitch is a bad platform. Ta-da! Alright, hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I can put the chat on my other phone. Oh, well, I guess I can't. Shit. Whatever. Alright. Why is Twitch the worst video sharing platform on the internet? Worse than the ones with the far-right extremists. At least the ones with the far-right extremists don't try to manipulate people and control people. It goes to show. Okay, so number one. The Twitch culture. Now, I think the Twitch culture can be summed up with one video that, like this right here, is everything that encompasses American culture, I would say. And unironically, this lady from Twitch, the GOAT, who has all the power. Like, unironically, this is right here.
I'm hanging in there.
Right, this right here. Like, Twitch managed to select the person that represents them to a T. Now, they distance themselves very far away from this person after promoting. But, at the time, I believe that like, this is the Twitch avatar. Like, this right here represents the Twitch culture so flawlessly. Like, if you were to try and find a person that does a better job at representing what Twitch is, you would probably not be able to. So, listen to this.
But I'm hanging in there, and I'm not going anywhere. I have power. They can't take it away from me. And honestly, you know, there are some people that should be afraid of me.
I don't know, like, dude, this is so perfect. Like, this is such a level of artistic excellence that you can't find anywhere else, right? So, like, this person is being given power, and the first thing they're going to do is to abuse that power and say that people should be afraid of me. And she's already, like, targeting people. She's going to come after them, right? And all the while, like, having this big grin, this big smile on their face. Like, again, like, they're coming after people's livelihoods. That's the thing, right? Like, they want to destroy people's livelihoods while having this bright smile, this like, feeling of euphoria, this huge rush of the dopamines. Like, this right here is perfect. Like, this is Twitch. This, you know? And by the way, like, that person, they didn't become famous as a grassroots thing. It's not like everyone found this person's channel, started subscribing. No! Okay, like, this person was someone that was barely known, but Twitch decided, yes, this represents our company. This is what we want. And they artificially placed this person to the top. And I have a feeling that the exact sentiments, the exact ways that this person is behaving is the same thing that Twitch moderators do, right? Like, it's the same thing that they experience, they feel when they get to ruin someone, when they get to destroy someone's livelihood. I don't know if it's a deer, I would say a goat, but okay. So, the internet was very upset when this happened. And they started mocking Twitch. And Twitch starts to distance themselves very slowly. They move away from this person. But the internet always remembers. And by the way, this person, I believe, was saved by the pandemic. Because there is a thing with the internet, right? Like, this is an unspoken rule. Do not spite the internet. You're not going to win. Like, you can't win against anonymous people online. Like, no one can protect you from that. If you spite them, if you go on the internet and you say, oh, what can you guys do to me? Well, when you do that, you're going to find out that they're going to look into your tax records. They're going to look into your problematic tweets. They're going to look into your history. They're going to look into your background. They're going to check your friends. No one is perfect. Like, it's the same thing with the Soviet Union. Like, they weren't concerned about, repressing people politically. Because they were like, okay, just show me the person and I'll show you the rules that they break. Because every single person breaks some laws. Every single person at some point does something bad. You jaywalk. You drive. You drove while having a beer. Like at one point in time you did something. And if someone looks hard enough, they will find that. They will hold it over your head, right? So this is why you shouldn't spy the internet, which is what this person did. They had a tsunami of shit coming their way, but the pandemic happened. And after that, Twitch silently dropped them. So, anyway, the Twitch culture, right? Like, it's extreme left fringe culture. Every single political person on Twitch is going to have the most radical, extremist, fringe political takes imaginable. Now, I'm not saying that other channels, like other platforms, don't have this. Like, I'm not saying that YouTube doesn't have extremist takes from people. I'm not saying that DLive or whatever. Yeah, but like on Twitch, only the most fringe, far left, extremist takes that you can possibly imagine. Hold on, let me give Real Raven the wrench here so he can help me out. Thank you, JDA, for the $5. Shia LaBeouf, you can't hide from the internet. Weaponized autism will destroy. Yeah, like, unlike the government, the internet is actually capable. Like, what is the internet? You have people that are engineers, that are scientists, that are mathematicians in their free time. Like, literally, that is the internet. You see anonymous people being on a forum and they're acting like spurgs. They have a job in real life. They have an actual profession. They have credentials. They have skills. And when you piss off people from all walks of life with different areas of expertise, you are going to realize that you can't win that. Again, they're anonymous. And there are thousands of them. You're not anonymous. Like, you're a streamer. You're a content creator. You got a face. You're a public person. There is nothing you can do in order to... You're not blocked, sock and pupe. And I'm not a coward. You keep messaging me while drunk. Anyway, right. So, the Twitch culture is very toxic, right? The second one is the attempt to, how should I say, not subvert necessarily, to control creators' thoughts and opinions, right? So this is exactly the problem, that all platforms have terms of service. Like, all platforms are going to have a couple of rules, things that you can and can't say. YouTube, Twitch, whatever. Sorry, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, Facebook. But on Twitch, it is so fucking worse. It is so fucking worse. Like, on Twitch, if you have someone like Destiny, which suggests, okay, well, to me, the Kyle Rittenhouse thing looked like self-defense, he gets banned. Why? Because they care a lot about the thoughts and opinions of creators. Good Thanks. Now, Good Thanks isn't a political activist. Good Thanks is a person that used to play Street Fighter, and he said that maybe the police should crack down on the protests that are destroying businesses and are setting towns afire, right? So he does that, and immediately Twitch unpartners with him, and they remove the Pog face, which he created. And by the way, the Pog face, in my opinion, is just a more civilized way of doing the soy face. But the Pog face is the lifeblood on Twitch. But the message is clear, right? Like, if you're a content creator on Twitch, you gotta only have the acceptable opinions. It's to the point where Asmongold, right? Asmongold watches one of my videos. He watches 10 seconds of it, and then he has to stop. Why? Because it's not that he didn't want to hear my thoughts or anything. Is that he realized that I was talking about Blizzard and diversity officers, and he knew that if I said anything negative about the diversity officers, then he would actually get in trouble. Like, he could have his entire Twitch account being shut down because he would express an opinion that wasn't even his own. So this is the problem. They wanna, like, you're listening to a person on Twitch. You're listening to Asmongold, right? You're not getting Asmongold thoughts and opinions. You are getting what Twitch wants Asmongold to say. Like, you're only getting what Twitch allows Asmongold to say. You're not getting his real takes. And I know many Twitch streamers behind the scenes, like, some of them believe things completely different than what they say. But it's a job for them, right? And this is due to the fact that Twitch attempts to create people, to control people's thoughts and opinions. What can I say? Go for your life, says Thomas. Don't really understand that. But anyway, right. So, how do they control creators' thoughts and opinions? Well, one of the way they do it is force creators to moderate their chat. So this one is the worst, because what it does is, like, you are responsible for what people in your chat say. Now, if someone drops an N-bomb in your chat and you don't remove that, you can lose your Twitch channel. If someone in your chat says something negative, you are the one responsible. Now, besides the fact that this is Orwellian as fuck, you as a Twitch streamer, you're looking at Twitch's TOS, which is very vague. So now you have to decide, okay, someone made the South Park joke. Is that allowed or not? Like, for example, Uniluna, a VTuber, right? Like, she is an owl, and people like to say, people wanted to call themselves the Unibombers. You know, like, every VTube community, it's got its own name. Like, for example, Lisa's community is Sheeple, Pipa's community is Capitalists, right? So this VTuber, Uniluna, asked her own community, like, what do you guys want to be called? And they said, we want to be called Unibombers, right? Because it's a joke, it's funny, right? It's hilarious. And they wanted to call her Hitler, right? Like, Hitler did not figure. So it's not that she doesn't find this hilarious, but the problem is, do these things violate Twitch's terms of service or not? Because, like, if she allows people to be like, okay, well, we're the Unibombers, well, the problem is that Twitch can now ban her channel, right? So she's got two choices. She can either decide to ban this and not allow this, and then people will say, oh, well, you don't have a sense of humor, you don't really know how to be funny, right? And then she risks losing her channel, or she can so she can either delete this and risk getting her community pissed off at her, or she can let it stay, and then she risks losing her channel. And what's interesting is that Twitch launders its censorship through the creator. Like, the creator may not want to ban this, because, like, they're harmless, and it's obviously a joke, you know, it's dark humor. But when the creator removes this, it seems like they are the ones doing the censorship and not Twitch, right? Now, this actually works even harder when you think about big Twitch big Twitch content creators. And by big, I mean, like, people with 1 million subs, right? So think about Asmongold, think about Iron Mouse. Like, people who have so many individuals in the chat to the point where the chat is just scrolling up and up and up and up, and you can barely manage to read what's going on. Like, those people have to literally pay moderators, right? Like, so imagine if I was Mr. Bedecker and I have like 10,000 people in the chat, and you can't read the chat. It goes like, you know, like the chat goes like this normally, right? Now you can't read shit of what's going on. So they need to hire moderators in order for the moderator, like, that's what they do. They just sit there and they look slowly, and they find like anything that's problematic in order to remove it. Like, it is so fucked up. It is so fucked up. I guess it creates jobs, what can I say? I don't even know how much a moderator is paid, but like Jesus Christ, like that work is probably the worst. Like imagine, sitting through 4 hours of Asmongold stream and like you get like just pages upon pages of chat just going crazy, and you have to just slowly scroll down and look for it. Holy shit. And yeah, it's not even a useful job. I do read your comments, Drakai. It's not even a useful job. Like it's just something of a cottage industry. Doesn't add anything to the experience. The streamer probably hates the fact that they have to do it. No, they don't do it for free, Tactical Droid. I mean, it depends, it depends. Maybe like Hassan Paikor, because he promotes communism and socialism, maybe he has some moderators that do it for free. But I know for sure that big Twitch streamers, they actually pay their mods in order to do that. Because it's not a job a robot can do, right? It's a job that requires understanding context. So like someone can make a joke that's filled with racismus, but it's said in such a way that it would bypass an algorithm or something that would do a surface scan of what you just said. It is just the most disgusting thing, right? So creators moderating their own chat is the worst. Now, secondly, you then go to shared block lists. Another cancer coming on Twitch. So basically, if I block a couple of people, like I block Bronx Beats for spamming in my holy chat, then I can share my block list with Arch, and Arch can share his block list with someone else. So that now you have like these shared block lists. Now, normally, I would not touch this fucking cancer. I would never use a shared block list. But if you're on Twitch, and you can lose your channel if you don't ban people, I guess you have to, right? And the problem is, like, imagine, okay, so I decide to ban Bronx Beats because he spams my holy chat. And then I share my block list with Arch. But then Bronx Beats, he apologizes to me. He's like, look, I was drunk last night. I gave some thought. I realized that, V, you put a lot of work into this. I appreciate what you do, and I don't want you to have your chat being spammed. Because you gotta read what people are telling you. You gotta pay some attention, right? And I'll never do it again. And I'm like, you know what, Bronx, you're absolutely right. I love my I love my subscribers. I love each and every one of you. I understand you did something wrong. I'm going to unban you. So now I unban Bronx Beats, right? Arch still has him blocked. Why? Because I shared my block list with him. So you can actually get banned on a streamer's channel. They share their block list. Then you get unblocked from that streamer's channel, but you're still blocked in other places. That is just so fucking cancerous. Like, that is just so... And even then, like, imagine... Sokenpupe, stop abusing your mod power. Stop. Why is Sokenpupe banning Bronx Beat? He didn't do anything. Oh, never mind. He did something. Bye. He's spamming. All right. Now, cancerous for the viewer experience. Let's see what else they have. Rules that do not apply to everyone. I mean, this goes without saying. I mean, they actually had this exposed. In a couple of their leaks, there were people on there that were above the mortals. Like, they weren't allowed to be banned. So you can have a person that can break the rules as much as they want. Perfect example. What is the name of that chica which copyright striked PewDiePie? In my opinion, PewDiePie, the worst thing that he did wasn't making edgy jokes or saying gamer words. The worst thing that PewDiePie did was not suing that lady which copyright striked him. God damn it. Her name is literally on my tongue. Amaranth. Okay. Amaranth. I don't want my viewers to rise because people are spamming my chat, man. by the way, I know this is a little bit counterintuitive, but I genuinely didn't want to have I generally don't want to have like a lot of viewers. Like, why do you think I started streaming at odd hours and deleting streams? It's because I wanted to have big viewers. Anyway, right. As I was saying, Alinity, was it? There was Alinity. Okay. But let's talk about Amaranth. She showed her clam on stream. Like, she showed her clam on stream. She showed nipples on stream. You know, like, these things would get normal people banned and never come back. I remember there was, like, another guy which did an experiment, right? Like, he placed, I believe it was an Asian lady belly dancing. And you would go on the stream and you'd see the Asian lady belly dancing, and there were a lot of people just joining in, you know, donating money, right? And then the guy stops that recording video and goes like, bazinga, I gotcha. You know, like, no one would watch me if I'm just a guy playing video games, but if I put a nice girl belly dancing, all of you guys, you know, like, all of you are going to already tune out. And you talk about sexism and you talk about titillation and we blah, 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 blah. But this is what you want, right? Like, this one. He gets banned from Twitch for doing that, by the way. Right? For tricking people with a joke. He gets banned from Twitch. And then you have, like, other girls, like, showing clams and shit, and that's fine. So, you got people which can literally do anything they want. Like, absolutely anything. Break as many rules as they want. And then you have people that lose their entire channel for a broken taillight. So, rules do not apply to everyone. And then rules are too strict in some situations. So I know, like, you would say, well, V, what the fuck do you mean? Like, the rules are the rules, right? Like, the rules should be applied. Yeah, but, like, in some cases, like, there is a reason why it would be a bad idea to have AI instead of judges, right? Because, like, there should be the human element there. Like, for example, there's this guy. He used to stream by driving his car around the block. I mean, that was why, you know, he would do that, and he's driving his car. He's making these video streams where he's driving. And at one point, someone from the outside, like, you can't see the person, but from the outside, someone pulls a gun on him and tells him to get out of the car. The guy doesn't want to. He gets shot. Okay, like, he gets shot, ends up in a hospital, survived, right? Like, he got carjacked. But he was live streaming while it happened. So Twitch bans his channel forever. Like, when you're a streamer, apparently you have to control your environment. Like, anything that happens around you is your fault. Like, how the fuck, like, in any situation, that should be a sign that, like, well, maybe some leniency should be allowed. You know, like, maybe, okay, well, clearly it's not the guy's fault. And not to mention, it's not like, oh, well, he pulled a prank, bro. Right? Because there are streamers that, like, for example, on YouTube, I forgot the name of the guy that went into the Japanese forest and he just happened to find a person that committed suicide. Like, obviously that was fake. Obviously that wasn't real, but they made that, and then, like, everyone was like, oh my god, that is so horrible. And everyone was outraged and blah, blah, blah. Right? But, like, that was clearly them trying to set up, to fake the situation, right? To prank the Jake Paul, yeah. Or Logan Paul, sorry. Logan Paul, yeah. Like, Logan Paul clearly tried to fake a situation where he entered the Japanese forest, renowned for people hanging themselves, and he just happened to find a body of a person that was hanged, right? I mean, look, that was clearly a prank. And he clearly violated the TOS, although at the time I don't think the TOS forbade you from doing that. But I understand, you know, like, if someone tries to prank a stream in order to get more views, like someone pranks and pretends to be carjacked, that's one thing. But this person literally got carjacked. Like, he was at the hospital, he had receipts. Okay, like, he could prove, like, unless this was the most realistic prank in the fucking world where he literally took a bullet just to get views, Which, okay, fine. Like, for some people, maybe it can happen. Like, there are people that are such amazing clout chasers that they are going to go out of their way in order to do anything. You know, like Shuni's, I believe his name was, where he ate dog poop in order to get views. Like, there are those people, right? So in that situation, sure, fine, apply the rules. But we're talking about someone that legitimately got shot. Okay, like, what do you want him to do? Confirmed fake? Dude, like, I knew it was fake since day fucking one. Like, there were so many things. Like, you could see the people laughing and jiggling. The positions where the alleged friends were the same. Like, that was just clearly a reenactment. Like, they went there with the purpose of doing that because they knew it would get attention. Right? Like, people pretend, oh, you know, we like being sensible and we like... No, people are attracted to the fucking grotesque. Why do you think the news keeps showing this shit? You know, like, the news used to be, old lady got hit by a bus on the street walk. Now let's watch again in slow motion after the commercial break. Like, this is how the news used to be. This is why they're called ambulance chasers. This is why they're called vultures. But like, for some reason at this point, and this is not just about Twitch, but it's true about CNN as well. It's true about YouTube as well. If I find a dead person in front of my house, okay? Like, if I find a dead person in front of my house, and I go there with a video camera and record it, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, I just got out of my house, and this person, it seems that they got hit by a bus. I hope the ambulance arrives in time, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if I do that, I upload it on YouTube, my channel gets taken down. If CNN arrives 2 minutes later with their cameras and they're like, oh, we're on such and such boulevard where a hit and run happened and it's so tragic and blah, 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 blah. If they put that on YouTube, it has ads on it. And not only that, it's promoted by the search results because they're an authoritative source. Do you really think the news have changed? Yeah, they did. Now they're not ambulance chasing as much. Now they're like selectively ambulance chase. Like if they find the like I guess the crime rate in America is so high that they would probably not even care about a hit and run unless it had like some way that they can spin it to give it some political ideology regarding it, right? So unless they can have like some ideological lens that they can analyze a tragedy, that they don't give a shit about it. I think one of the people missed about the whole suicide forest incident is how much Japanese public is in denial about their suicide problem. Yeah, so I didn't know that. I didn't know the fact that Japan is in denial about the suicide problem. I know that it's quite high in Japan, right? Like it's and it is very weird. Like I can't say that I know why Japan has a high suicide problem because. And this is what baffles me. It's very difficult to get someone fired in Japan. Like, it's next to impossible. Companies have to resort to so many tricks in order to get someone fired. And even then, that's very, very rare. So in Japan, if you got a job, it's probably for life. Like, it's very stable. Meanwhile, in the United States, no job is stable anymore. Like the concept of someone just finding a job and manage to grow old and retire while having the same job is next to fucking impossible. And you would think that, okay, well, having some form of stability would increase happiness. Not in Japan. The other example that I can think of is maybe due to the collectivist culture. And what I mean by this is that in America, the bad that you do affects only you, right? Like if you say the N-word in the United States, it only reflects on you. In Japan, if you do something bad, it reflects on your entire family. So basically, imagine that your father does something bad, and it reflects on you. But like, you're not your father, okay? Like, you can't control the man. You can't do anything about it. However, because your father did something dumb in public and embarrassed himself, now people have stigma towards you. And it works the other way around, right? Like, imagine the burden that you need to have. Like, you go out in public, you embarrass yourself, so now you've embarrassed your entire family, right? Like, it's kind of the same thing with the Chinese social credit system and why it's so effective. Like, if you're a twat on the internet and you get very low social credit, it's not just you that's affected, it's everyone that's in your friend list that's affected. So now people are going to ostracize you because they don't want the same thing. Even if they might not disagree with what you did, So maybe that burden, that like societal pressure, maybe that is, I love you too, Josh. Maybe that is what is depressing a lot of people. When you're expected to work 60-hour weeks as standard, there's probably a problem. I don't think so, man. Like, people in the medieval age used to work far more than that. Let me see how much is 60 hours a week. I'll tell you in a bit if... So, 60 hours divided by 7 days. That's 8 hours a week, man. Hold on. Maybe not 7 days, right? So, 60 hours divided by 5 days. That's 12 hours a day. Yeah, that's a lot. But, like, even then, that's not uncommon throughout human history. Right? Like, most farmers used to work from dusk till dawn, as they say. People in factories during the Industrial Revolution worked more. People in the mines worked more under more harsher conditions. Like, here's the thing which is bizarre. Okay? Like, this is kind of like a paradox. But people who are under hardship are less depressed and more happy than people who have really good lives. Like, it shouldn't be like this, right? Because you would think that it's the other way around. You would think, like, okay, well, people are more happy when they have fulfilling lives, and they're more depressed when they have unfulfilling lives. That's not the case. Right? Like, look at Hollywood actors. Like, Hollywood actors who are multi-millionaires, they never lack for anything. Like, they have everything. Like, if you're a Hollywood actor, you go out on the streets, everyone likes you, everyone's like, oh my god, this is the famous actor, can I have a photo with you, can I get your autograph, right? Everyone likes them. They have the money to buy everything. Like, they can literally go on the street and everything they see in the shop, like literally any car, any piece of clothing, any piece of jewelry, they just can have. Like, they can just point to it, it's like, I want it, it's theirs, right? Like, everything. Look at their marriage rates. They're miserable. They're unhappy. They constantly whine and nag about how difficult things are. Every one of them has a psychologist. I mean, like, the psychology industry is fucking booming in Hollywood. Like it's so counterintuitive. They should be the happiest and most fulfilled people in the fucking world. However, they're not. And they work a lot as well. You know, like a Hollywood actor during filming, he works a lot. I don't know if he works 12 hours a day, but definitely he works a lot. And meanwhile, you have other people. Like, I have seen cancer patients who are dying, okay? Like, my mother, for example. They're not depressed. Like, they're enjoying life. They're trying to find fulfillment into anything they can. They have an optimistic view and an optimistic outlook, right? And, like, it should be the opposite. It should be the opposite. It's like, oh, well, you got cancer. You can't walk anymore. You're stuck in your bed. You need, like, your human dignity is being robbed away. That should be incredibly depressing. But for some reason, again, I don't know. I've never been in that position. I don't know how people think. But for some reason, it's the opposite. Like, those people are the ones that are constantly optimistic. They're constantly looking at what else can they do tomorrow? What else can they enrich themselves? Right? They want to get out of bed and do stuff. And then you have the Hollywood actors and the rich people, which have all the money in the world and everything that they can dream of. And they're the ones that are depressed. I don't know why. I can't. The same with families, okay? Like, I looked at some of my relatives and people that I know. Like, when their family was struggling, like when there were problems with the mortgage and maybe one of the parents got fired, or, you know, that they had some issues, that's when the family was united. Like, that's when there was harmony in the family, and then everyone tried to pitch in. But when things were great, like someone got a promotion, you know, money was flowing, there was no problems, kids were doing great in school, that's when the arguments happen. And that's what everyone is arguing from like nonsensical stuff, like the most bizarre thing. It's like, oh, well, why didn't you put the toothpaste in its place? And why blah, blah, blah. And then it's like a real argument over that. It's just so weird. On the other hand, Japan cares a lot about privacy, especially when it comes to disrespecting the dead. So it also helped covering that. Yeah, I mean, the thing with like, it wasn't Japan, right? Because it's not Japan that tried to get Jake canceled, although, like, there were a lot of upset Japanese. It was also Westerners, right? And YouTube itself, like, YouTube is not a Japanese company, and yet they were very upset at what Logan did. Sorry, Logan Paul, not Jake. And it wasn't like because of Japanese standards or anything, but it was poor taste, I guess. Right? But at the end of the day, even though it was poor taste, it was also what people wanted to see. Because you can lie about it as much as you want, but that live stream was #1 live stream because people were clicking on it and they wanted to see it. Do donations bring you closer to depression? Well, no, because I'm in crippling debt right now. I still have a mortgage to pay. So every donation that you guys give goes to my mortgage. So it doesn't really make me richer. It makes me less in debt. But, you know, I always thought about how it would be to be a billionaire. Like, if you're a billionaire, then legitimately life sucks. Everything can be yours. You can literally just walk past a building or a business and you can buy it. You know that meme with Batman buying the hotel? You can do that if you're a billionaire. Like, you know, and the problem is, like, in order to grow as a human, you need to want for things. You need to desire things that you can't have so that you can work hard in order to one day hopefully get them. But you're a billionaire, right? You have everything. It's kind of like this, okay? If you manage to have a successful dating life and you have multiple partners, you're going to find that it's almost incredibly difficult, next to impossible, to ever fall in love again. Like that sensation, that feeling when you're in high school and you fall in love for the first time, you're never going to have that. Women can tell you this as well. Like the ones that go on Tinder and they're always, you know, dating different guys, they're never going to fall in love again. Because, like, it tells you that you can have anyone you want. And it's the same thing with being obscenely rich, okay? So this is why, like, a lot of rich people are into various perversions, and they end up being arrested for, like in the case of Epstein. The reason for it is because they already have everything. So the only things that they can't have is the bizarre, is the macabre. That's why it's like, oh, the spiritual cooking with Hillary Clinton. Like, they have to go out of their way in order to do things that are so socially unacceptable that it's the only things that they feel that they shouldn't be doing. So that is my take on why is it. Having debt is part of getting rich, V. Why would you negate it? Yeah, but it's stressful, man. It's stressful, especially now when you see the bank loans getting higher and higher. You know, the mortgage rates just climbing harder and harder, and everything is unpredictable. It is stressful. They also try to have power over others. Billionaires already have power over others. Like, it's impossible not to have power over people if you're that rich. Yeah, I mean, there is a reason why a lot of wealthy people are into these trafficking rings. Because it's a crime that's so disgusting. It's a crime that's so horrible that any person would immediately try and stop you if they find out. So you need to have a lot of connections and a lot of influence in order to do this crime professionally. And it's also the fact that, as I mentioned, it's the rich people that literally have no, I guess, like, nothing to aspire for, right? Like, everything that you can possibly imagine, you can do. Like, you want to drive a submarine, you can buy a submarine and drive a submarine. You want to have a cruise on a yacht, you can do that. Like, again, for a billionaire, everything they want, they can just get. So the only thing that they can't get is probably people. That's it. Like, that's the only craving that remains. Why doesn't someone make a platform that lets creators say whatever they want? So I don't think that's possible anymore. I don't think you can have a free speech platform in today's day and age unless you have like a cultural revolution or something, which I don't expect I will be able to see in my lifetime. It's probably because, people want to sell cars. Like, let's say Toyota wants to sell its merchandise. And it's less likely to say it if someone spams the N-word in the chat. So I don't think like you're going to find free speech platforms. Like 4chan is as close to free speech as possible. Even though 4chan today is kind of like Reddit used to be in 2016. But it's close to free speech. And yet it's not as profitable as other platforms, right? So it's about platform. It's about profit. And if you want a platform to compete, it has to be profitable. If you want free speech, you can go to IRC. But like no one is there. And the reason no one is there is because, well, it's not a profitable platform and it's not investing a lot in order to make it more popular. Whatever. My point is, you're not going to have a platform that's free speech. But what I would want is a platform where the rules apply the same to everyone. Like, this would be the gold standard. This would be my favorite platform. One that is achievable. Like, if there is a rule, I want everyone to be under that rule. I don't want, like, some people to be able to break it and other people not to be able to break it. And if I could ask for something else, would be for the rules to be clear. Like, they should define exactly what they are. I don't want ambiguous rules. And if you could have that, I don't care what else the platform does. Like, even if the platform would say no right-wingers, I'll be like, fine, Okay. But I would still stream that because I would know that the rules are being applied equally. And everyone has equal treatment. So anyway, let's see. Mods doing whatever they want. Say what you want about YouTube. There are cases where channels get suspended or banned, and no one knows why. There are cases like that. But on Twitch is the standard. Like, you can get banned from Twitch, and you don't know what you broke, you don't know what you did. For example, Dr. Disrespect. To this day, people still don't know why Dr. Disrespect got banned. No one knows. Right, so if you're a Twitch streamer and you're looking at what Dr. Disrespect did, it's like, okay, well, why? I want to learn something from him. Like, I don't want to do what he did. You don't know. Number 8. And by the way, like, Twitch is kind of like the way Twitch is being moderated. I would say it's very similar to how IRC channels were moderated back in the day. Like, you would have an admin. Like, you'd have someone with the @ in front of their name. And they would promote their friends. They would ban people for jokes. They would do, like, whatever they want. Right? Like, it's not ran as a business. It's ran more like a group of friends that are in charge. And they can do whatever. So, number 8. The most stupid rule. Getting banned for showing someone who is banned. I mean, this has been used to troll the Twitch community by the likes of Lawrence Southern. So, Destiny gets banned from Twitch, right? Then Lawrence Southern gets herself banned from Twitch for streaming Destiny. And then there's a lot of people on the right which made Twitch accounts, and then they got themselves banned on purpose just to get people banned talking about them. So, like, imagine this. Imagine you have people like Vosh, right? And what he does is he goes on the internet, finds right-wing people, and then debunks their arguments. So it's kind of like the skeptics, right? Like, you would show the video of the person, you allow the person to talk, and then you interrupt and you're like, oh, well, he is wrong because such and such, right? So Vosh targets right-wingers. Now imagine he would target me, right? So Vosh starts debunking my videos. Well, what I can do in that situation is I can go on Twitch, I can stream Lawrence Southern, I get banned, and now if Vosh tries to debunk me, he gets banned. So now you have, like, people on the left, like the BreadTube community being without bread. Like, their bread literally being taken from the table because a lot of right-wingers that they would criticize got on Twitch, got banned, and now they can't talk about them. Oh yeah, Vosh is banned from Twitch as well. Yeah, it's guilt by association, but it's to such a ridiculous degree that it makes no fucking sense. Debunk Vosh is perfect father for Stitch and Adam. Well, yeah, imagine if YouTube had this, right? And then Vosh would get banned from YouTube, and then Stitch and Adam would not be able to talk about Vosh in any circumstance. So they would not be able to debunk him further. If V streams on Twitch, then I'll go there just to report him and get him banned. It doesn't work really that way. I mean, I guess you could, but I would have to actually break something, and even then, it's so weird. Like, you don't... I have seen people going on Twitch, doing the most crazy stuff, they're not getting banned. And then I see people going on Twitch and doing absolutely nothing and getting banned. It's so weird. Let's see, what else do we have? The narcissism. So, there was this whole Me Too drive on Twitch where you would see a lot of female creators being incentivized to report on male creators for harassment. And what would happen is the male creator would get canceled, and they would get a massive boost in subscribers. And the thing is, like, they would do this on Twitter with TwitLonger, right? And the thing you would notice is that some of the accusations were so fucking bizarre, and they weren't even crimes, but people didn't even read them. So like, let me give you a couple of the accusations that I know. Okay, the one against Angry Joe was the most baffling one. So there was this chick, which goes to Angry Joe's Twitter and starts flirting with him, right? So Angry Joe asks her out, and they go to this convention, and apparently she brings a friend of hers, and she starts flirting with Angry Joe, and at this point, Angry Joe starts introducing her to all his contacts and all his friends, you know, trying to help her become a more popular streamer. And then she says that Angry Joe grabbed her arm and took her to a taxi, and I'm thinking, like, how the fuck does that work? You know, like, are you a leaf in the wind? Like, someone grabs your arm and, like, can force you places? Like, what the fuck? Are you a puppet? Are you a doll? Like, can't you say no? But she didn't say no, right? Like, she didn't resist or anything. Like, apparently Angry Joe took her. And this is where she got separated from the guy that she brought with. And they went to his hotel where there were other streamers there. And they spent time in the lobby. And, you know, again, like, she's introducing her to all the contacts and stuff. And she says that she was feeling very uneasy. Like, again, like, she never says that, oh, well, I need to go away or, you know, like, I don't feel comfortable. No. Like, she just keeps going like a leaf in the wind, right? Like, she's the innocent person here. And at one point, Angry Joe asks her to his room, right? And take into account that she was flirting with him the whole time. And she's very offended by that because she says, like, oh, well, I have a boyfriend. And it's like, how the fuck was Angry Joe supposed to know? Like, you never mentioned this, right? Like, you were the one flirting with him. And Angry Joe goes like, oh, I see. So you're like all the other clout chasers. Like, you're just interested in my clout, right? So he gets upset, goes to his room, and breaks contact with her. And that's her Me Too, right? Like, that is her accusation of Angry Joe sexually harassing her. Now, again, Angry Joe gets into trouble over this. Like, there were people trying to cancel Angry Joe. There were people that were literally, oh, how could you? I'm unsubscribing. This lady gets, like, massive subscriber boost. Massive. Angry Joe gets subscriber loss. And everyone is siding with her. And I'm like, okay, but, like, what exactly did he do? What exactly did he do wrong? Like, what is the, like, there's no crime committed. Morally speaking, he didn't do anything wrong. So what is the fucking problem? And the problem is, like, no one was even reading the tweet longers, right? Here's another accusation. I think there was this guild leader in World of Warcraft. He also received a bizarre accusation. He got an apartment with another girl. I think she was like a member of the guild or something. And they moved in together. And he wanted to sleep with her, I believe. Like they both slept in the same bed. And he tried to cuddle her, and she said no. At which point he decided to sleep on the couch instead, but he asked her to pay half the rent. And she felt that this is very offensive because he is being passive aggressive due to her rejecting him. And she feels like she's being punished for saying no. Like, I'm not kidding. This is mental retardation. Like this is the type of culture that is being promoted by the left. So like, let me get this straight. Like, you move in with another person in the house and you don't want to pay half rent? Like, what the fuck? And you know, sure, you leave the person out. Like, you flirt with the person. You lead them to believe that you're interested in having a relationship with you. And when you say no, the person respects you. Like, they stop. And they move away. Like, where is the problem? Like, that is not sexual harassment of any fucking way. Like, and I'll tell you this. Like, I noticed this with men, right? Like, men are willing to tolerate there's... Okay, how should I put this in a politically correct way? If you're a man, you're not going to want another person in your house if they don't pay rent, or at least pitch in. Like, I don't know any man that tolerates it. Even a father, okay? Like a father to his own son. Like when the son reaches the age of 21 or a little bit older, let's say the son is 25, right? If you're 25 and you're living with your old man at one point is going to start saying you need to pitch in. Like, not necessarily pay rent, but he will start saying you need to start paying for some food, you need to start paying for electricity, you need to start paying for water, like you need, you know, something breaks, you need to pitch in, right? Like, that's normal. The only exception is with the girlfriend, right? So if a man has a woman in the house that he is in love with and they have sexual relationship, then the man is not going to ask her to pay for stuff. Right? Like, it's possible that a man is going to put up with another human being in his house without asking that person to pay for stuff if they're in a relationship. That is the only exception that I can think of. Again, even a father with his son, like a father who loves his son very dearly, if they're above the age of 25, they're going to ask, hey, can you please contribute? Can you please pay for some of the gas money that we use to drive the car? Can you please pay for the electricity, right? But like, you have women so entitled on Twitch that they believe that if they are being given the same treatment that a father gives to their son, it's like, look, I thought you want a romantic relationship. Okay, you don't. That changes things. I'm not going to hit on you. I'm going to sleep on the couch. You can have the bed. I want you to pay half the rent. That is a tweet longer. That is like something that you need to get the guy canceled. You need to get the guy shut down, right? So that you can get more subscribers. That is the type of culture that Twitch encourages. And I want to point out, all of these things, all of these tweet longers were allegedly hearsay, your honor type of thing. But like, Twitch would ban people just for the accusation. So there were a lot of accusations that some of them seemed far-fetched or bizarre, like Zoe Quinn, for example. Like, Zoe Quinn has a kill-death ratio. Like, she actually, like when she started her no bully company, I didn't know that she was trying to help people how to bully. Like, if I want to bully someone, I would definitely hire Zoe Quinn, because she's a fucking professional. Like, I haven't seen someone capable of bullying other people as well as Zoe Quinn can, right? So she accuses this game developer, which, by the way, was half her size. Like when you look at this game developer, there is no fucking way that he had the strength to pull off what she claimed. So she's claiming that, like, she was living with him and this guy was abusing her and turning her into a slave. And at one point, He grabbed her by the inside of her vagina and started driving her across the house. And I'm thinking, like, dude, look at the man. Like, he is half your size. Like, I know he's a man. I know I understand that. But, like, on average, men are stronger than women. But in this particular situation, looking at the fact, I find it difficult to believe that this man was capable of physically constraining you to do anything. Right? But like, for some reason, her accusation was believable. Because people suspend all logic. This is the type of culture that is being promoted on social media. Lots of Western VTubers are Twitterinas. Yes, this is something that actually enrages the Pipkin, and I do agree with her. Like, seriously, this is... But for some reason, I love the fact that a VTube community is gatekeeping against these people. So, and all of these people seem to come from Twitch, by the way. You know what? Let's add it here, actually. That's a good point. Let's add it here just for the Lucy. The Twitch, the V-Twitch community. Let's put it like this. Minus Lumi, okay? Like, she's not here. Like, even though she's part of the problem, she's not adding to the problem. Alright. So what do I mean by the V-Twitch community? Like, you got some of these content creators on Twitch, which are realizing that the VTubing is taking off. I mean, there's so many advantages of being a VTuber. You don't have to care about your environment, right? Like, you don't have to invest money in a professional studio. You don't have to care about your looks. You don't have to care about your appearances. You don't have to put on makeup. You can ludify yourself. Like there are just so many advantages. You don't need a professional camera. You don't need professional lighting. You don't need editing. Okay? So VTubing is incredibly convenient. And you have all these talentless hacks that think, oh, well, all I need is a VTube avatar and I'm going to be popular, right? And then they bring, like, their cancerous ideology into the mix, and they're like, oh, now I'm going to be the gatekeeper of the VTubing community. And they talk about how, the VTubing community needs to be this and this and that, and if you're not inclusive, if you're not part of the VTubing community, then you're not welcome here. And you're looking at, like, motherfucker, you got 2 views. Like, literally, I'm watching their stream, they have 2 views, chat. 2 fucking views. And they're talking about excluding people? You're the literal 2 fucking... Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Like, no one cares about you. Like, oh my god, how can this VTuber with 10,000 times more view than I have, how can this VTuber say these things? How can they say something like that? Dude, you're the 2 view. You're the 2... Shut the fuck up. Grow your audience. And maybe one day people will give a crap about what you have to say. Hello, Rosal. I actually missed you. But yeah, like, so you got, like, these literally who's popping up on Twitter and trying to get other people canceled. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? What? Like, who cares what you think? Who cares if you're offended? Like, why are you talking in the name of the community, which, by the way, doesn't exist? There is no community. It's just random people doing the same thing. But, like, like, it's like saying the knitting community. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, one person can knit and be a billionaire, the other person can knit a sock and they can be poor. Like, there's no correlation between these people just because, like, they happen to knit. There's no, like, deep roots connecting and tying these people. But what the left likes to do is to call something a community so that they can gatekeep, right? But the thing here is, like, you need to actually have some power to gatekeep. You need to be someone that people give a shit about to gatekeep. You're like the random person that just started out, and the very first thing, and this is why they're not successful, by the way, because even the left hates each other. Like, the first thing you do when you join the community is you're attacking people. Right? Like, before even making a name for yourself, you're attacking people more success. No one is going to want to associate with you. No one is going to want to join hands and sing Kumbaya because you're the type of censorious twat that people are scared of. It is just so bizarre. Just learn how to knit. Yeah. But anyway, right? So like, this is like so often I see on Twitch. Like, for example, there was this VTuber mama, so an artist basically, which makes VTuber avatars, right? And she's in Ukraine, and she's actually in Kiev while the bombs were falling. And she was with her, but like she was posting pictures, right? Because this is why I believed her. She was actually posting pictures, sitting in the bunker, was posting pictures across her house, showing how the bombs destroyed the place. And she was basically very scared and afraid. And at one point uses a gamer word against the Russian army. These literal two views, these literal nobodies pop up and go like, look, we understand you're in a conflict zone, but mind your language, missus. Like you need to check your you need to check your thinking. Like, how dare you insult the good honor of the Russian soldiers? And I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing? Right? Like, who the fuck thinks like that? What the fuck? So like, what? You want war to be more inclusive? You want war to be a safe space? Like, it's okay if the Russian bombs people, just don't call them the F word. Like, what? Right? Like, no one but like all of these VTubers that like no one knows and no one will ever hear from again were outraged. I'm just like, what the fuck? But yeah, so let's see what else we have. After the Twitch community, we got all the the simp culture. So the word simp used in a negative way is actually banned on Twitch. Why? Because this is their money making. This is their chak chig. You should hold on. My bad. You should. Okay. Right? Can I have the euro side here as well? I don't know what it is on my keyboard, but okay. That is a big problem on Twitch, and they're very aware of the fact that there are underage people which are using their mom's credit card to buy bits and then give money to their favorite content creator. Like, this was the thing which got It's a Gundam into trouble with Pokemon. So Pokemon, right? Like, there were Reddit people claiming that they're almost getting divorced with their wife, or they're not paying rent because they're spending money to Pokemon. Now, Pokemon is a millionaire, right? Like, despite the fact that Twitch is, eat the rich, and a lot of people are millionaire. She's got $1 billion contracts with Walt Disney. Like, she's a very wealthy person, and there is the ethical dilemma. It's like, okay, but like, shouldn't you say something? If you're, like, look, chat, if I was a millionaire and I see that someone is donating to me $5 and is saying like, V, I'm going to skip rent today, but here's my super chat, I would feel like utter shit. I'm not going to lie. I would feel absolutely horrible. I already do. Like, I had people, when I was, like, during my time on YouTube, I had people giving me like, oh, V, this is my last paycheck because I just got fired. Here's my last $50 to you. And I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, I really appreciate it. I genuinely do, Like, I really love the fact that you want to support me. But if it's your last paycheck, like, you should be a lot more careful with your money, right? Like, don't give it to me. I do need it, but, like, surely you need it more, right? It's your money. You should put yourself... So I'm thinking that, right? But Pokemon, instead of doing this, she attacks It's a Gundam, and they have, like, all of this internet flame war going on with sponsorships being attacked and whatnot. But, like... This is why Twitch protects this, right? It's a very... Like, this is the type of culture that makes me believe anarcho-capitalism can work, right? So how does anarcho-capitalism pay for roads? Well, you take a couple of ladies like Pokemon, and they would be government contractors, and they would entertain people, and then people would donate money to them, and that would be the taxes, right? Like, when someone gives money to all of these ladies that are working for the government, for Uncle Sam's, that's the money that goes to build roads and have a military. Like, that's how anarcho-capitalism can actually work. You have Pokemon and Amaranth and Zombie Unicorn and all of the other ladies, and they're broadcasted on national television and everyone can donate, and when you donate, that's your contributions to Uncle Sam. Like, that's your taxes. There's the taxpayer money at work. And with that money, they can have a police force, they can have a military, they can build the roads, they can have a firefighting team. Like, I definitely think that if you somehow channel this type of culture, if you actually make this being patriotic, like on top of the fact that it's a very lucrative business, you can actually care for an entire nation. What will stop these ladies from going private? I mean, I haven't given the system much thought, but believe it or not, there would be ladies. They would sign a contract. They would sign an exclusivity contract with Uncle Sam. That's how what would stop them. Like, you would be, like for 8 years or whatever, you would get a job at the government where you have to be a female entertainer and convince people to donate money to Uncle Sam. Like, that would be your shtick. It would also be like a thing with, like, thank you for your service type of, like, imagine that, right? Like, imagine a country where there's no taxes, and the only form of having money for roads and stuff is people donating to e-thoughts, right? Like, that the government hires. Well, that would be seen as a patriotic duty, like donating as well as being the e-girl. Like, people would literally go around and see Alinity and be like, oh, thank you for your service. Like, she would literally be providing a massive service for the country. Like, she would actually be the reason you have a military. And not to mention, right, like, it would be prestigious to be in that position. Like, what would stop them from going private? I mean, nothing, but, like, it's the prestige of the position. Like, you work for the government, and your thing is helping people have roads and security and police and whatnot. So, you could go private, but, like, it would be viewed as a negative thing. Like, you'd lose the prestige. Yeah, literally simp for Auntie Sam. I mean, the buy war bonds things. Yeah, like, there were girls that were promoting that. It was the same with the volunteering for World War I. Like, they had a lot of women that were shaming men into it. Anyway, right. I think I will end it here. These are, like, the first 11 reasons that I can think of. There's probably more. Like, the more I think about it, the more I can come up with. But, like, these are the main ones that really upset me. But like, the top of it is the fact that they try to thought police their users, right? They thought police not only the content creators, but their chats and their supporters as well. Like, they definitely have an agenda. They're trying to indoctrinate people into certain, not just, like, politics, but behavior. Like, they're trying to indoctrinate people that simping is a noble endeavor, right? And at the end of the day, they try to say, oh, well, it's empowering for women. Like, first of all, it's not, right? Like, we know that feminists complain about booth babes, and they talk about how titillation is bad and sexism is wrong, right? So that is number one. I mean, we already had Zombie Unicorn complaining about booth babes, but then she sexualizes herself on Twitch. That's number one. Number two, when you have a guy which is spreading his wallet and is donating a lot of money to all of these e-girls, that is someone's son, that is someone's husband. Like, it's hurting women as well. Especially when it's not a person that has a lot of money to give, but, like, he's just, like, giving the impression that maybe if he gives a lot, he might have a chance with that lady. So that is that. It's alright, V, I made $300 today. Oh, fuck. Like, if you make $300 a day, then I'll probably, be upset you didn't give me more. Like, if you make no money and you give me 10 euros, then I'm upset that you gave it to me. Because I'll be like, well, if you have no money, maybe you should have it. But if you make $300 and you only give me 10, then it's like, well, you should give me more. Also, thank you, Daddy, for the $2. Right. Thank you guys so much. And I'm going to make some videos for my other channel now. Really appreciate it. And do share my stream around. Like, tell people about me. One of the things you can do to help me out is if you guys like doing clips. Like, if you're a clipper, understand this is what drives the streaming community forward, and I don't have a clipper. But if there's anyone that does good clips, you can send them to me on my Discord, and I'll put them on my Twitter. Thank you very much, and I shall see you